In 2006, I'm a wife, mother, community volunteer, friend, neighbor, and whatever keeps me busy on my treadmill of a life. From the outside looking in, I have a great life and I have a lot of fun doing whatever I do. I don't work, but manage to fill my days with lots of activities and appear very content. I travel, play tennis, and go to lunch. Today is May 26th, the Friday before Memorial Weekend, and I am waiting for a phone call. It's 3:30 in the afternoon, and I can hear my youngest walking in the door from school when I answer the phone. I take a deep breath and think this could change my life forever. The doctor is very nice, and I thank her for calling to let me know I have breast cancer. Now, when you get news like that you have cancer, I am not sure what you would do, but I didn't cry, and I wasn't angry, maybe a little numb. It was just something else I had to deal with. Hurry here, hurry there, hurry up and get this thing over with too. I am the type of person that makes lists and crosses them off. Grocery store, dry cleaning, drive to volleyball, call surgeon to remove tumor from breast, etc. My life was structured, predictable, and a little boring, but that was all getting ready to change. It took on a surreal feeling like the Twilight Zone. My predictable, boring life was becoming unpredictable and uncommonly busy with things that revolved around me. Memorial Weekend was somber with concern. My plans were canceled the following Wednesday so I could meet with my surgeon to set a date to remove a tumor from my breast. A new vocabulary was emerging in a world that I had no desire to know anything about. That Friday was my birthday, and my husband and I celebrated with blood tests, x-rays, and a breast MRI, followed by a dinner at a swank restaurant in the city. On Saturday, my daughter and I were driving to her volleyball tournament and were hit by a car driving out of control. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but my car was seriously damaged. Now, I've had two secret fears in my life that I live with, and I've never told anyone. You are the first. One is getting cancer. The second is being in a head-on car crash. Both of these things happen in the same week. What the hell is going on with my life? I am not used to soul searching, so I don't make the time to think about the double whammy, but just keep putting one foot in front of the other. I am trying to be a spectator, but my life is insisting that I take a starring role. This is uncomfortable and exciting. It was a quirk that Northwestern Memorial had opening so quickly after a diagnosis, but evidently not many people wanted surgery on June 6, 2006. 666. My surgery was a success with a tumor removed from my right breast, but that little tumor was actually a big tumor, and it wasn't stage 1, it was stage 3 with cancer found in my lymph nodes. This confirms that I will need chemotherapy and radiation. I am not happy because I will lose my hair and my summer is shot. This turns out to be the least of my worries. The doctors were now on the hunt for more cancer in my organs and bones. This is when I start to get freaked out. I start to get really scared. I retreat and hide under the nearest rock and try to act invisible. I poke my head out just to tell the doctor that I'm refusing all tests to look for more cancer. I don't want to know. I was panicking, and I never panic. This is a new emotion for me. I have never experienced this kind of stress in my entire life. It is mind-consuming, scary, skin-tingling fear that grips you and locks you in a prison of worry. I am so scared I can't even grab a rational thought. I go home and hide under the covers. What would you do if you knew everything was going to be okay? Well, I pretend I don't hear this voice in my head, but it repeats the question. What would you do if you knew everything was going to be okay? Well, how can this be happening? I ignore the voice because I am convinced that the cancer has spread to my brain, but it doesn't do any good. What would you do if you knew everything was going to be okay? Well, I would live. I would be grateful for every day and be the best person I could be. Did I just say that out loud? Yes. I start saying this over and over again. I would live. I would be grateful for every day and be the best person I could be. I feel an incredible release of pressure off my mind and body. I start to ponder the question, what would I do if I knew everything was going to be okay? What would I do if this was just a bump in the road? So I make some drastic changes. I switch oncologists and hospitals and go forward with a test to look for more cancer. Relief, pure relief. They do not find any cancer in my organs or bones. It is now time to get on with chemo. Well, chemo is another story in itself, but my hair fell out, even my eyelashes, and I gained 20 pounds. I thought I was handling this pretty well until my feet were so swollen from the steroids, I couldn't wear any of my favorite shoes. I was feeling angry about all the changes that were going on in my body. And I'd hear, what would you do if you knew everything was going to be okay? And I felt better. I will live. I will be grateful for every day and be the best person I can be. The next step on cancer journey was 6 weeks of daily radiation. You know, it takes longer to undress than it does to get zapped. You get super tired with radiation. I remember laying down my bald, plump, steroid body for a nap. I felt so different from the woman that had been before cancer. And for the first time, I cried. And I heard, what would you do if you knew everything was going to be okay? And I felt better. I will live, I will be grateful for every day and be the best person I can be. Well, that day finally came when all visits to the hospital were finished. My family and friends are celebrating that I'm finally back to my life. But what was my life like again? I'm overwhelmed, stressed out, frumpy, and tired. I have no idea how to resurrect the old me, and I'm not even sure I want to. I realize I'm a fake, just going through the motions, because I'm pretending to be happy so my family and friends feel better. I'm coping with the pressures of re-entry, like living in limbo, like I'm wearing cement shoes. I needed some inspiration, so I invested in books, classes, and heard a lot of different speakers. I went on a mission to learn what it takes to not only rebuild my life, but create a life I'd love after cancer. And what I learned in my second act has made all the difference. It's given me my life back. Little by little, I started to reconnect and redefine who I am. I started living like I was a new person, going far beyond my old comfort zone and getting fired up about my life again. And I knew I had to share what I'd learned with others. So for my second act, I went back to school and became a certified professional life coach. I knew as a coach I could specialize in helping women, cancer survivors, get what I'd so sorely needed and had to find on my own. And since then, I've coached women survivors all over the country, either individually or through workshops and speaking engagements, to rebuild their lives so they're passionate about their life again. And as a coach, I am known to tell my clients that cancer can be a gift in strange wrapping paper. And one of the first things we work on is changing our thought patterns from fear to fearless by asking one question: what would you do if you knew everything was going to be okay? Thanks.